Hi everyone, I'm Pumi and welcome back to my channel. So today, if you are interested in self-development or have a growth mindset, this one is for you because today I'm going to be sharing some insights that I've learned while working with my therapy clients. And I think what distinguishes these insights is in the practicality of it. So let's get into it. I'm in my third year of my PhD program for clinical psychology, and that means I'm a psychologist in training. I've got 2 more years left. What that really means is that I get to work with therapy clients before I get to do it by myself. And so here's some things that I've learned um, about myself, so about humans in general, that I think can be really, really helpful. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned just from working with therapy clients is the absolute importance of self-care. It's something we hear about all the time, but I've come to realize just how crucial it really is. And it's more of a preventative measure for a lot of things like burnout. So imagine yourself as a cup, right? And I'm sure you've heard this analogy. To pour into another cup, whether it's through supporting a friend, supporting a loved one, or even showing up at work, you need to have something in your cup first. And of course, community is a big part of being a human. And if your cup is empty, there's nothing that you can share from, right? So that's why I don't think taking care of yourself is selfish. And it did feel like that for me for some time. But I realized that if I want to be present with my clients and be there to really listen, I needed to take care of myself first to be that channel for wellness. This did happen to me once or twice where I was not really present with my clients and I would zone out or I wouldn't really catch what they were saying. I wasn't present, and that really affected how effective I would be as a therapist. And I don't want to do that to someone, right? My role as their therapist is to be this channel for wellness, but if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not doing a great job of that. I realized that I was getting distracted easily, and so that's when I noticed that I needed to take it seriously. Think about it like this. So when you take time to take care of yourself, whether that's through rest or healthy eating, exercise, hobbies, or even just a couple moments of mindfulness a day, you're replenishing that cup, you're filling it up, and you're building up the reserves you need to handle life stressors, to be patient and to be empathetic with others, and to face challenges in a more calm and clear mindset. So that's why I realized that when I prioritize my self-care, my time for myself, I find myself to be more resilient or more present and ultimately just so much more capable of supporting others. Practice makes perfect. Let me explain. So everything we do, even the so-called negative patterns we have as humans, are just that. They're patterns and they're learned and practiced. These patterns, whether it's how we talk to ourselves, how we react to stressful situations, or even how we perceive the world, they're all learned over time. The good news is that just as these patterns are learned, they can be unlearned and replaced with healthier, more positive ones. For example, think about self-esteem. Many of us struggle with negative self-talk, self-doubt, telling ourselves we're not good enough. We're comparing ourselves. But here's the thing, though that negative self-talk is a habit, a pattern we've fallen into. And like any habit, it can be changed. So the more we practice speaking to ourselves with kindness and compassion, telling ourselves that I am enough or I am worthy, the more natural and automatic it actually becomes. And it's the same thing with gratitude. If you've ever felt like gratitude doesn't come naturally to you, that's okay. speaking from personal experience, it's just another pattern. And the more you practice feeling grateful, even for the smallest thing, a warm cup of coffee in the morning, or a kind word from a friend, this beautiful sunset, the more you'll find that gratitude naturally flows for you and flowing into your life. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Everything is literally practice. Every time you choose a healthier thought, every time you choose to respond differently to a stressful situation, you are rewiring your brain. You're creating new pathways that make these positive behaviors more automatic and less effortful over time. So don't be discouraged if it feels awkward or unnatural at first. That's just a sign that you're stepping out of an old pattern and into a new one. You're rewiring your brain and you're building stronger neural connections with this newer habit. And with practice, those newer, healthier patterns will become like second nature to you. Emotions are like signals. One of the common things I see with my therapy clients is that people are afraid of feeling these emotions or they're trying to avoid them altogether. Emotions like anger, sadness, anxiety can feel overwhelming, threatening even, and it's natural to want to push them away. But something I've learned from working with folks is that emotions are not the enemy. In fact, they're really valuable indicators of what is happening and what you're experiencing. So if you think of emotions like a check engine light in a car, and this is something I tell most of my clients. Anyways, when that light comes on, it doesn't mean that the car is broken or something bad is about to happen. It's just a signal that something needs your attention. Emotions work the same way. Feeling anxious doesn't mean you're weak, and feeling sad doesn't mean you're broken. It's just your inner self saying, hey, there's something here that you need to take a look at. Once you start seeing emotions as just signals, like indicators that pop up to tell you something, it takes away a lot of the fear of feeling this experience, feeling this emotion, and the judgment. It takes that away because it makes it a lot more objective, just something that our body is telling us. So instead of thinking, oh no, I'm feeling this way, something must be wrong, we can think instead, what's this really trying to tell me? It's just a much more kinder and more helpful way for you to relate to your emotions. For example, if you're feeling anxious before a big presentation, this is probably just a sign that you care a lot and care a lot about doing well. And that maybe a little bit of prep could help you. Or if you're feeling angry after a conversation, maybe it's a sign that a boundary has been crossed or something that was important to you was not acknowledged by that person. So emotions are just like that. They're just there to guide you and to help us understand what's really happening inside and within us. Instead of avoiding emotions or beating yourself up for having them, let's get a little curious. Ask yourself, what's this feeling really trying to tell me? Practicing gratitude in real time. Something I found really helpful, both for myself and for my clients, is practicing gratitude throughout the day and not just at the end. A lot of people do gratitude journaling at nighttime, like writing down a couple things that brought them joy and made them feel really grateful right before bed. And that's absolutely wonderful. And it's really good to do that because it brings so much joy about your day. But I've learned that it's actually even more impactful if you spread ounces of gratitude throughout your day. And a simple way to do that is, for example, setting yourself up for a little challenge. So anytime you see something beautiful or something that brings a little bit of joy into your life within the day, capturing that or stopping there to recognize it. And it might also be helpful to just send it to someone, sending that little bit of joy. And for example, if you get a random compliment, see a really beautiful sunset, have a good cup of tea, take a second to notice it. And you could send a quick message to yourself or someone else, so it brings them joy as well. And what that ultimately does is it shifts your mindset. It makes you actively look for something good throughout your day as they happen instead of waiting till the end of the day to recognize them. And when you're noticing things in real time, it actually makes your day feel so much better. It keeps you in that positive mindset in that present moment, right? Rather than just looking back in hindsight and thinking, oh yeah, I actually did have kind of a good day. By finding bits of gratitude throughout the day, you're living in that good feeling more consistently. Plus, when you share those moments with other people, it brings them joy and spreads it all around. So it's really a win-win. Letting go of expectations. One of the really unique lessons I've learned with working with clients is the power of doing everything you can to create a desired outcome, but not getting too attached to that outcome. It sounds a bit contradictory at first, but stick with me. So often we pour all of our energy and effort into something, a project, a relationship, a goal, whatever it is, with this expectation that if you just try hard enough, everything will go exactly as you want it. But life doesn't work that way. Sometimes no matter how much effort you put in, you might not always get the desired outcome. And that outcome is just out of our hands. And that's where things get a little tricky. Because being too attached to a specific result can lead to a lot of stress, anxiety, disappointment when things don't go as you had planned it to. And what I help my clients with is to help them see the real freedom in focusing on what you can control, which are your actions, your mindset, your preparation, and letting go of what you can't. It's about doing your best and then releasing the need for things to turn out the way you want it to and letting the universe do that part. And don't get me wrong, this is not about not caring. It's about caring enough to give it your all, but also being flexible and open to whatever happens. By doing that, you set yourself up for success either way. So if things do go well, great. But if things don't go well, you're not crushed by it and you are flexible enough to switch the trajectory a little bit. So you can adapt, learn, and move forward without that heavy baggage of disappointment and of what could have been, right? So it's a way of living that allows you to be a bit more present, less anxious, and ultimately more at peace with whatever comes your way. So next time you're working towards something important, try this. Put in all the effort you can. Prepare as best as you can. But practice releasing that grip on the outcome. It's a powerful mindset shift that can make a huge difference in how you experience things and how you experience the highs and lows. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I have spent some time letting these insights brew inside of me, and so it's been helpful to talk about it actually on camera and share that with you all. And I hope you find it helpful if you're a therapist or in school to become one. Let me know what you've learned. It would be really cool to hear about your experiences as well. And if you're none of those, then share with me if this resonated for you or if it didn't. Let me know. Thank you. I love you.